Welcome to another review. I just watched Malcolm and Marie on Netflix, written and directed by Sam Levinson, who's done the hit show Euphoria, and that stars Zendaya. This also stars her with John David Washington as Malcolm, and she plays Marie. And they just come back from his big movie premiere, and the two are in a relationship, and they get back and they just proceed to argue about the relationship, about who they are as people, about the movie, about filmmaking, about critics, about mac and cheese, about literally everything under the sun. And that's the movie. It was shot during the pandemic, and it's shot in black and white as well. And there seems to be a theme with movies shot during the pandemic. It seems like they are ideas that aren't fully formed, but there are some really good actors attached. And while I was watching this, it reminded me a lot of Lockdown with Anne Hathaway and Chiwetel Ejiofor, in that it's got some really good acting, but everything else is a bit step below. But with Malcolm and Marie, everything is good here. The cinematography, the acting. The only thing that sort of falls short is the writing. And I'm seeing a lot of stuff where the critics are critiquing the commentary on critics, but my biggest hang up is that both of these characters are wrong in the way they're going about arguing, and I don't know if that's intended or not, but over time it feels sort of grating on the audience. And I don't know if everybody feels that way, but that's how I feel. But what the two were saying didn't feel connected to the real world sometimes, and the emotion is there. There are very clear, great moments of acting. There's a scene where Malcolm is just going off about a positive film review that has some constructive criticism about his movie, and he's just going off, even though it's a positive film review. And there's another scene where Marie just lays everything out on the line and basically auditions again for a role, and it's just, oh my God, it's just the best I've ever seen these two act. On paper, this seems like everything would have worked. You have a star director, you have two amazing stars, and it just sort of misuses them in a way. And it's just a great technical achievement of all this, of what they've done. It's just overall, it doesn't connect. The artistic side is lost in this meta commentary of filmmaking, but also a meta commentary on relationships and like the relationship between an artist and their partner. So there's a lot of layers there. It just misses the landing, hardcore misses the landing. And I wish it wasn't like a rushed pandemic movie, because it doesn't talk about the pandemic at all. It has nothing to do with that. But it felt like it was rushed into production to just have the moniker of making a good movie during the pandemic. And in doing so, the good movie is only good technically. Like, technically, the acting is great. Technically, it looks beautiful. Technically, it pays homages to all these old movies from back in the day. But stylistically and artistically, it sort of falls under the pressure of all of that. And that kind of sucks. And if I had to rate it, I would give it 5 out of 10 critiquing movie critiques. It doesn't meet the mark of what everyone was expecting, but the acting's still great, and the cinematography's great, and the music choices are great. As a piece of art, it is just not fully formed, and I wish it had more time to shoot. I wish it had more time for some rewriting. I just wish it had more time in the pre-production and be something more than it was, and it just wasn't. And that's a bummer. And that's it. And that's my review, and I'm gonna go punch the air some more.
Un esercito di